Hey, we should live, back, building more Beluna. Is again, casually chilling in what I guess is her living room. I don't know. Where would you stick your gingerbread cottage if you were going to use it as a footstool? Anyway, we finished on Unfinity last time, so we are on the Urza's block, which goes in reverse order due to nature of the alphabet. So, um, no, Silverback, Horror Thief, Ops new. So disappear. No. Sorry, Elvish Piper. Not what I need. Goblin Festival, Gardener, Marshall. No. So, any number of mountains deal damage to or planeswalker. Nope. Core, mental discipline, metal worker, Metathrans, don't need opposition, pattern, go under. Where a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. I think so. Fellows, or Fellows' Gift. Sent to Brine. I don't think we need any of the scents any more than we need the whatever the wizards are called. Add up the Magpie, Thorn Elemental. We're not ramping with artifacts, so we don't Power Stone. Dynamo, rather. Treachery. Destruction. Top of my Elder. Yep, okay. Alright, so if you've been watching my videos, you might know that I seem to think that we don't have enough payoffs for casting spells from places other than our hand. Well, as it turns out, I genuinely forgot like half the cards from um, Baldur's Gate that pass off for that go along with probably Prosper. So I did rediscover them when I was adding the game text earlier today for all of the cards that we've selected that I don't have a reasonable chance of just remembering off the top of my head. So, yeah, as it turns out, we have quite a few payoffs, including a spell that deals damage equal to their mana cost as long as I have my commander in play, and a couple other things. So, we do have the rewards from casting from anywhere other than our hand. We just have to decide if I actually want the Cascade cards. I don't think we need, but consider them at least. Whereas before I was just kind of off them because I couldn't remember that we had all these other cards that would care. Also, Mizik's cast, like, she cares if you cast from anywhere other than your hand for the jumpstart version. Defense of the Heart, Mediocrity, Gang of Elk. Don't need Goblins. Or Grim Monolith. Sorry, Grim Monolith. Don't need. Ooh, excuse me, Impending Disaster. Crab. Though King Crab is funny if I have um any of the I can cast from the top of my deck things. I can just put a creature, my green creature, back on top and then cast the spell version. Eventually recast the green creature. Don't think it's anywhere near good enough to actually consider for the deck, but it is funny to me. Kraken, Rancor, Second Chance, Grunts, Snap, Refolk Mystic, Walking Sponge, Weather Seed, no. Or Weather Seed, no. Folk also from Weather Seed. I don't think we need Granger. As it turns out, though, we do have a few more comes into play abilities than I thought, so that's gonna kind of get rid of the Torpor Orb, sadly. I just love when I can run Torpor Orb in Commander, so getting rid of it just isn't the best. But we also have too many things that it negatively impacts, so. Rules text. Expand. So we can do Saga. We are almost at the end. We can probably finish up the deck selection today at this rate. Don't need Abundance. Antagonism. Othean Elder. Enchantress. Sacrifice a land. Mint. Basics. Baron Master Wizard. Bedlam. Armor. Brand. Bravado. Does X damage to target opponent where X is the number of cards in your hand minus the number of cards in that player's hand. Carpet of Flowers. Catalog. Haven't added mana with this ability this turn. You may add X mana of any one color. X is the number of islands target opponent controls. Is that somehow in the original wording of this? During your main phase, you may add up to X mana of any one color. X. Nope, they added that in to make sure you didn't get extra main phases and. Oh, it's allowing me to do it at any point in time. During your main phase, you may. Okay, I see how it is now. It's clarifying that you can only do it once per turn. You can't get that much mana in your pre-combat and then that much mana again in your post-combat main phase. What it's doing. Like, that is so awkwardly worded. What was the original wording that it needed to be worded that way? And that is what it was. Don't need Cradle Guard, Crater Hillion. Destructive Urge, Disorder. Student. Light. Energy Field, Exploration. Parents. Fortitude, no. Cradle. We probably don't need Gamble. It's close. We do have a reasonable amount of card draw, so we could try tutoring for things. Yeah, I guess I'll add Gamble. Just in case we want it. Don't need Gilded Drake, Goblin Cadets, any of these goblins actually. No. Skull Cap, Great Whale, Greater Good. No. Hidden Ancients. The Hidden Herd. Actually, we don't need any of the hidden creatures. Horseshoe Crab, Hush. Imaginary Pet. Lightning, Note of Tarn. Launch, Lay Waste. Leyline, Lightning Dragon. Or Lilting Refrain. No. Return to its owner's hand each creature that player controls with power greater than the number of cards in their hand. No, I don't think so. It's a bit too dangerous. Don't want anybody bouncing their Ulamogs every turn. Turn X target permanents to their owner's hand. No. Sin, Retaliation, Rewind, Bendo. Sorry, Siobhan. Hellkite. Hell, Shower of Sparks, no. Bookstack, Sneak Attack. Orogenesis. Blast. Proctor. A red spell would deal damage to a permanent or player deals that much damage, plus 1 to that permanent or player instead. No. Or no. Time Spiral for anything. Camp Academy. Or would we want to in this deck? Runabout, no. Failed Creatures, no. No. Key, no. War Dance. Whirlwind. Wildfire. Wizard Mentor, Zephid's Embrace, the Zephid itself. Okay. Urza's its entirety. So there we go to wrong button. Vanguard, Vintage Masters, Visions. Alright, Visions, what do you have for me? Anything cool? I don't need the Anvil. No. Bogger and Phoenix. Sacrifice unless you return to Forest. Don't think so. Chronotug. Creeping Mold. Desertion. I keep forgetting Desertion is from Visions. I always think it's from Alliances for some reason. I guess it was the second ever small set related to a large set, with Ice Age and Alliances being the first one, so maybe that's why. Like, it's from the second set in a early block, so obviously that's the one that it's from. Guessing Richard Kane Ferguson did a different, like, blue counterspell artwork that I'm thinking of for um, Alliances then. Probably one of the what's their names? The Arcane Denials then. Anyway, I'm in Kaleidoscope, Volcano. You choose any number of tap non-green creatures. Pay 2 each creature chosen this way. If that player does, untap those creatures. Vigilantes. There's no common turn. I don't think so. Elven Cache, given all of the other variants we've passed over. Destroy target non-aura enchantment, or target creature loses flying. Target opponent mills a card. Goblin Recruiter. And I don't think. Blue creature control unless their controller pays 1 life for each blocking creature they control. Haru lands. Don't need Catabact Wind. Attic Wind. The Mist. Focus Snow. Lightning Cloud. I did miss that Lightning Cloud was any player. It's got the old Lucky Charms wording where it doesn't care who plays the spell. Natural Order, no. Pygmy Hippo. Furion Ranger. Go Free. Rowan. all of these so far. Although Shrieking Drake is kind of interesting in that I can use it to bounce back my things, but then I don't have the Shrieking Drake to bounce it back. Yeah, I'm thinking of Shrieking Drake as a way to bounce things, but that's not exactly how it works. It will still be in play then, and I'll only bounce the thing once. Really not that impressive. Yeah, Shrieking Drake is more that you can keep bouncing itself back to your hand to re-trigger things than anything else. Now, in case you need to keep triggering Intruder Alarm endlessly. Don't need Alrums, Wishes, Orangutan. Yep, okay. The answer to what does Visions have for me is basically nothing. So, War of the Spark next. Okay, what do we have? Wolf, no. I mean, we do have that one creature that cares about wolves, but need Arlen, rather. Sorry, Arlen. I stumbled over your name there. Bolus, Save an Eternal, Band Together. No. Target spell or ability with a single target. I don't think so. Top 3 cards of your library may reveal a permanent card from among them, put in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order, and gain 3 life. Nope. No. And Bond of Passion, no. Okay. None of those. Profit. That much damage to target opponent or player. Top card of your library, you may play that card this turn. Top 7 cards of your library, you may play them this turn. No. Sir. No. Your spells you cast this turn can't be countered. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't. No. No, I don't think so. Ooh, we don't have a lot to buff the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Which is a shame because he would work really, really well with some of our things. Oh no, wait, never mind. He targets. I'm sorry. I thought he could cast an instant or sorcery with casting cost less than his power, but he does target, so that kind of ruins it. Never mind. He doesn't do anything we care about. So close. Target. I don't think we can Pibble Thip. We do have ways to cast him from the library, so that is a thing, but... Alright, don't think we need Devastation, because tutoring our creatures to play doesn't super help. Cast up to 1 target instant card and or up to 1 target sorcery card from my graveyard. Oh well. Yeah, I don't need any of the finales then. You reveal the first card you draw each turn. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery card this way, copy that card. Yep, does not work. Got Eternal Bonus. Got Pharaoh Statue. Gilded Globe, or Guild Globe rather. Torment. Ilharg is creature from my hand. Turn that creature hand at the beginning of the next end step. Yeah, I don't need him. That Jace. This Jaya. Jang. Don't need Karn. Think I need Kasmina. Don't really need Kiora. She does technically work with my deck, and I could use her as a ramp spell to untap my lands, but she's only okay at that point. Turn a land to its and no. Think we need Lazatep plating. It's a little bit tempting as a way to protect all my stuff. I don't think we need it. Yeah, can't really do much with Narset. Like, she can't hit any of our adventure cards either. Issa. Put them in my hand. Nope. Create a 2/2 citizen. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Proliferate or gain 4 life. Nope. Hmm. Yeah, we probably don't need Storm Conduit. Like, he's got Magecraft deal a point of damage to an opponent or Planeswalker, but I think that's quite good enough. And while most of my instants or sorceries benefit from being copied, they don't. Like, it's not worth it to spend resources to copy them. We want to have, like, a card that just copies every time we cast an adventure, basically. X Hybrid. No. Gilly. I don't really care about this. If I cared at all about the second ability, then I might, because we definitely care about the first ability, but I don't think I want a Planeswalker that's not really. Oh no, wait, it can copy creatures. I'm sorry. Oh, it's target artifact I control, so it would have to be like one of the servos or one of my like 3 mana rocks or something. So the biggest thing about this is I could copy like Lucky Clover until end of turn. Turn one of the servos into a Lucky Clover and draw some extra cards, but yeah, it still feels kind of underwhelming. Creature attacks you or planeswalker you control. Each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. My Planeswalkers becomes a 4/4 dragon. Make a 4 dragon. Strix for anything. Spark double. This Tameo. Those abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard cards or sacrifice permanents. +1, choose a non-land card name, then reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards with the chosen name from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. -3, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Meh. Very meh. Tibalt. Hugin. If it's a creature spell. Alright, so she wouldn't let me exile an adventure card and cast the adventure side. It's like, I think there's a wording that would work with that, but this is not it. Arcbow. Let's War the Spark. On to Warhammer. I'm gonna go to the. There we go. We didn't want to at first. I had to insist. Hey, whenever a creature attacks, it gets -1, or attacks me, it gets -1 power. Attacks an opponent, gets +1 toughness. Let's create a token that's a copy of it. Flying in Cascade. Archetype of Deception. Architect of Deception. Enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. 7 mana, 6/6 flying, ward 3, ETB, draw 3 cards. Squad. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enters the battlefield, counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, activate ability, or triggered ability. Nope. Acolyte hybrid attacks. Destroy up to 1 target artifact. If an artifact is destroyed this way, its controller draws a card. Nope. Reveal the top card of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. If that creature is a demon, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Their target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Nope. 3 tap, the next non-creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. No. Battlefield, it deals X damage to each player and each other creature. Demon spells cost 2 less. Other demons you control have haste. First strike, haste. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Keeper of Secrets deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. Yeah, okay. That is one of the things we are looking for. Alright, Keeper of of secrets. Five and a red. Demon 6/4. First strike haste. I don't know why I'm adding his game text now. Fine, we'll just add it since I started. There we go. Good enough. Alright. The Betrayer. Attacks or blocks. If able, lose control of it, draw 2 cards. Would be dealt damage. Prevent that damage. An opponent of your choice gains control. The Rampager. The Galaxy Burn. Cascade. Deals X plus 2 damage to each creature that didn't enter the battlefield this turn. No. That one already costs 6 mana and has Cascade. It's excessive. Enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to the number of spells you've cast this turn to any target. Nope. Red Terror. Cast a creature spell with mana value 5 or greater, deals 5 damage to any target. Not really. Alright. Red cards into the queen. Deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Does have trample. Creature enters the battlefield with an additional owner. No. Don't need bone sabers. Enters the battlefield, distribute X/1/1 counters among any number of other target creatures you control. Nope. X/1/1 counters from it, add X mana of any one. Another creature dies, it gets a count. Additional cost to cast the spell, remove 1/1 counters. 2 less for each counter removed. Vigilance, Reach, Ward 2. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Whenever land enters the battlefield on your control, you may pay 3. If you do, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Opponent's control this turn, create a 3/3. Other creatures you control have trample. Enters the battlefield, create a 5/5. Beginning of my pre-combat main phase, I can discard 2 cards to return it from my graveyard to my hand. 1/1 counters on it. Whenever it attacks, you may remove a counter. If you do, put your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. I think so. My library for X basic lands and put them onto the battlefield tapped. So green and 2, it's a 1/1 that gets me a land. 5 mana, it's a 2/2 that gets me 2 lands. Yeah, I'm still not really feeling it. Let's see. Dice, create a number of 1/1s equal to its power. No. Deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1s. No. All other abilities. Create a number of 3/3 green tokens with trample equal the number of opponents you have. Last one is creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Nope. Alright, trample, haste. Deals combat damage to a player. Search my library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tapped, and shuffle. Exile any number of target creatures controlled by different players. For each creature exiled this way, reveals cards from the top of their library. Yeah, no. Flash, haste. Creatures I control enter the battlefield. Creatures I control that entered the battlefield this turn have double strike. Beginning of my upkeep, return an instant or sorcery at random. Whenever I cast an instant or sorcery, deal 1 damage to each opponent. No. Put a creature card from my hand on the battlefield. If its mana cost contains X, it enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal the number of lands I control. Double the number of each kind of counter on target creature I control. If a creature entered the battlefield under my control this turn, make a 1/1 gargoyle creature token with flying. Pearson. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control from anywhere other than my hand, or I cast a spell from anywhere other than my hand, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. Yep. That sounds accurate. The Lost in the Dam. 1 red blue for an enchantment. What's the size of the creature again? 3/3 spawn token. Alright. Mangus the Red. Instant sorcery spells I cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature token I control. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, make a creature token. Exile target player's graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on it for each creature card exiled. No. Enters the battlefield. It fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. If that creature would die this turn, exiled instead. Trample. Enters the battlefield. Flip a coin for each opponent you have. For each flip you win. Draw a card. For each flip you lose. Deals 3 damage to that player. 2 damage to any target. And when it dies, I create 2/2 blue and red demon horror creature tokens named Blue Horror with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, or cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature deals 1 damage to any target. Nope. Creature attacks target opponent this turn if 8. First creature spell I cast each turn costs 2 less. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, deal 2 damage to that player. No. A 1/1 counter on it and a 1/1 counter on up to 1 other target attacking creature. That creature can't be blocked this turn. Or another, you control deals combat damage to a player. Create a 1/1 gargoyle with flying. Evolve. Other creatures you control have evolve. Deals combat damage to a player. Copy the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn. When you cast it, you may choose new targets. Flying Death Touch Hexproof. No. Flying Haste. Other creatures you control with counters on them have flying and haste. Flying Ward 2 enters the battlefield, deal X damage to any target. Okay. Don't need the Swarm or the Spider. I don't think I need the Tomb Sentinel. Wraith. The abilities of cards in your graveyard cost 2 less. Hexproof. In my graveyard gains Unearth 3 until end of turn. No. If I would lose the game, instead exile the Golden Throne and my life total becomes 1. Tap, sack a creature, add 3 mana in any combination of colors. Nope. 1/1 counters on another target attacking creature. Exile creature card from your graveyard. Trample. Tax. If a card was exiled with it, gets +X, where X is the Resurrection Orb or the Scepter of Eternal Glory. Nope. Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. We've got the actual commanders from the set. So, beginning of combat on my turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Tap, add 2 colorless. When I cast a spell with X in its mana cost, or activate an ability with X in the activation cost, copy that spell or ability. With 2 1/1 counters on it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game, whenever a creature you control with a counter on it dies, draw a card. Okay, so nothing I actually needed, but you need to double check them just to be sure. That was Warhammer on Weatherlight. Nope, go ahead, search for Weatherlight. Just because I'm sitting back up because I am starting to slouch again doesn't mean you don't have to search for cards. Ancestral knowledge, apathy, no. Graveyard to the battlefield. Get my tap step, only turn. Osium Strip works, right? They don't have to be. Until end of turn, I may cast instant and sorcery spells from the top of my graveyard. If a spell cast this way would be exiled, or would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. That should actually work. I have permission to cast instants and sorceries as long as I'm casting the top card of my graveyard. I believe that one does actually work. So we're going to go to Weatherlight. Add in the Bosium Strip. Yeah, it doesn't target it. It just requires that I'm casting an instant or sorcery. It doesn't have to be an instant or sorcery card, so Yeah, that should actually work. Prevent all damage will be dealt to creatures. No. No. Creature dies, deal 2 damage to that creature's controller. No. 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 Guy's Blessing. Art of Bogardan. Heat Stroke. Siege of the Hollows. Lelmore Behemoth. I don't think I need any of these Lelmores. Lotus Veil, no. Mana Web. Mindstone. Benefactor, no. Relearn. Rock Hatchling. Bears. Sylvan Hierophant. No. Nope. Okay. Weatherlight. Well, we've already done both of these. Might double check them later, but I think we're safe to skip over it. That just leaves World Wake, 2 Zendikars, and like however many cards from the Zendikar commander. You control and target permanent you don't control to owner's hand. Billet of Vigor. Avenger of Zendikar. Basilisk Collar. No. Valakut. Choose another target for each time. Alright. Don't really need Comet Storm. Zendikons. Well, twice the number of times it was kicked. No. Everflowing Chalice. No. Good old Jace the Mind Sculptor. I can't imagine we actually need him for this deck. Like, the biggest thing he does that's special in this deck is I can bounce my own creature back to my hand. Let me cast the adventure side again. That's about it. That's not particularly impressive. Don't really need any of the other abilities. I mean, he does still function just fine in the deck because of the way I build decks with all the fetch lands. Being able to draw 3 and shuffle away unwanted cards is super helpful. No. Adele. Don't think so. Which Paper Snare. Nope, okay. Nothing in World Wake. And we just have the Zendikars now. We'll go over time by a bit, but that's okay. If I drew 2 or more cards, put a counter on it. Yeah, I don't really need that. Arid Mesa. Yeah. Alright, so... No, no. Top 3 cards, all creature cards? No. Discard a card. If it's red, deals 4 damage. Each player discards their hand and draws 3 cards. And cast any number of red instants and sorcery cards from your graveyard without paying their mana cost. It does technically work. I think my biggest problem with her is that I have to discard red cards to have her deal damage. If it was like discard a card, deal like some amount of damage, and if it's red, deal 4 damage instead, would probably be fine, but yeah, unfortunately, she's doing even less than Jaya is, both on the front end and the back end. So, like, Jaya is helping me by like she pluses to do both of her things. So, and her minus actually lets me cast any of my things, and it's an emblem. Whereas this Chandra is like her plus might deal 4 damage to a target, and her -2 is fine if everybody else has a big hand and I don't. And her ultimate is a one shot to cast those spells, so. Yeah, it's just all a bit too underwhelming, I think. Monument, Electropotence, Mental Appeal, Eternity Vessel, don't need Bushwhacker or the guide. Probably don't need any of these goblin cards. That land. Don't need Harrow. Dealt damage by 2 or more creatures this turn, may pay red. 4 damage to target creature. Nope. Has a Warlord new. Card Expedition new. Destroy 2 target lands, 4 damage to each creature. Add 2 or more lands out of the battlefield. I can spend 5. New. Tsunami. Lotus Cobra. Marsh Flats is the one we don't need because it's white and black. Misty Rainforest, yes. Excuse me. Go to Mold Shambler. Rasa Pyromancer. Nisa, no. Oracle of Moldaya. I don't think so. We don't specifically need to be able to play lands. It helps, though. But we don't need to actually... Still fine, though, in our deck. We are ramping with lands, so extra land drops are not terrible. Alright, fine. We'll die at 2 words, I keep forgetting. So 3 and a green, Elf Shaman. Don't need Thorn Reef. Really run Pyromancers. Rite of Replication, Royal Elemental, Flare Trap, Scalding Tarn. Scoop Mob, Aerialist No, Watercry, Thinks of War Isle, Summoning Trap, Tempest Owl, No, 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 Valakut, yes, to Verdant Catacombs. Should be our last land. Instigator. Sektar Shrine. Nope. Okay. That just leaves regular Zendikar. Or not regular Zendikar. Zendikar Rising. And its subsequent commander set. For an hour and 2 minutes. So that's not that bad, but Zendikar Rising, if it takes a while. Because I think one time I was like, we'll just do this one set, and that was like an hour and 20-minute long thing. Venture awaits. Green Warden. I have a couple of landfall triggers in the deck, but I don't think I need Warden itself. Gaia. Spectromancer. If I need any of these. Power 2 or less, landfall gets +2/+2. RX. Founding Conundrum. Chronicler. Cunning Geyser Mage, no. Dauntless Survivor, no. Diviner, no. Flameblade Charger. Fisher Wizard. Last Pool Mimic. Rotag Bugcatcher, no. Either of the inscriptions. Worm Beetle. Except it's not legendary and starting loyalty is 1. No. Kaza. Leyline Tyrant. No. Low Mage is familiar. Nope. In Cacophony, Master of Winds. Orog. For each land sacrificed this way, draw a card. I may play X additional lands this turn where. Oh, from that thing. Lands you control enter the battlefield, tap this turn. Phyleth. Bite. Name the Wastes. No. Okay, the Relic set, I don't think. Or Relic Robber, for that matter. Rockslide Sorcerer. Eh. Technically works in my deck, but I don't think I need that. I'd rather deal 2 damage to each opponent than 1 damage to any target most of the time. Yes, I can pick off small utility cards or little token creatures, but that's about it. Don't need Seagate, I don't think. Go to Shatterskull. Saloon Vision, no. Plunder, no. Relic, no. Don't think so. Enters the battlefield. X of creatures in my party. I was about to say Umbra Mystic. It's Umora Mystic, and then I stumbled across, like, trying to say the word Mara again when trying to change what I was saying, so. 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped. Spell is kick, put 2/1 counters on each creature you control. So technically that's also better than the put 2 basic lands from my deck into play. So there's the 2 forest one, and then there's the 2 forest with kicker that can make them creatures. And now we have the 2 basics, and I could pay a kicker cost in order to put counters on my guys. Alright, we'll add that to the list. I'd rather have the one with random upside that I'm almost never going to use than the one that has no additional upside and otherwise does the exact same thing. I don't need Verazol. Nope, okay. Alright, one last thing to check. Should be, what, like 3 cards max, I think? Yep, it's only the 2 actually. So, Enigma Thief has Prowl and bounces things, and Landfall to goad stuff. Okay, so we have all of our cards selected for our Adventuring Giantess, and we will figure out what we're actually running next time. So thank you for watching, and I will see you then. Have a good rest of your day.